Hey guys, this is Gaijin Hunter. It is December 1st here in Japan, and the official Monster Hunter Rise Twitter just gave this really funny post in which it says that director Ichinose from Rise had sort of redacted a bunch of information, and they just gave this image, which it's very obvious these are dates, and these were dates in which there was posts by him as a director, messages to the fans, and they referred to the first letter of each sentence in each one of those tweets. So let's take a look at what they are. So looking at the tweet on June 24th, we see 4 letters, 4 sentences that starts with O-U-Ko-ku, which means kingdom, Okoku, which of course we know there is a kingdom that Rondine comes from. Then the tweet from the director on July 15th had 5 sentences, which was To Ki Shi Ta Chi. Now they don't get confused by the Chinese character in the second line, but To means with or and. Kishitachi, Kishi means a knight. So the knights, so the kingdom and its knights. And then finally on October 5th, we have one with 4 sentences, which is No, Mo, No, and then Gatari. So Katari, Gatari. So it means No Monogatari. Monogatari means story, or the story of, the tale of. So put it all together and you have Okoku to Kishitachi no Monogatari, which means the tale of the kingdom and its knights. Now we know if you talk to Rondine as you played Monster Hunter Rise that she comes from a kingdom, like a western type of place, in which she serves the queen. And she is considered a knight. In their world, knights are kind of like hunters, but she's come to sort of draft the talents of the blacksmith Hamon to join her in her kingdom because they've got some issues obviously to deal with. So we do know that she is one of the knights, even though she sort of posed as a traitor to begin with, but she came very friendly with the town of Kamura. She didn't want to deceive them, so she came clean and very honest with them of what she was up to. So it definitely seems that we've got now pure confirmation that we are indeed going to Rondine's kingdom, and we are going to go through the story of it and its knights. So in Monster Hunter Rise, if you happen to miss the dialogue or you didn't play the game yet, and you don't mind to know because this is going to be public information anyways and it's not really a spoiler, but there is dialogue with her after you get through the game where she says, "My identity as a traitor is but a facade. In truth, I am a knight of my kingdom sent to Kamura by my queen's orders." Of course, knight is merely a name for hunters who serve her majesty. It means little else. The order given was to bring the blacksmith of Kamura to our lands and negotiate the application of his skills. But after getting to know the people, I've concluded that negotiating under false pretenses was dishonorable. And there's even some dialogue that's really funny, which you can get from the cat that she's with that almost breaks her identity. It says, "I'm from a peaceful land ruled by Her Majesty the Queen, but like this place, it's threatened by monsters. That's why hunters are given knighthood, sworn to protect the land and queen, and Lady Rondine is one of the West's most well-known traders. Lady Rondine regards Kamura village with very high respect." So they're constantly hinting at this, the fact that she, I think she's a longsword user, and she's from another country. And, you know, the queen of this country also does have respect, is just worried about Rondine. She seems like she's like the right-hand lady of the queen. So obviously she trusts her enough, and, you know, we can go on some speculation here, which might be fun. I guess the first order of business is that I don't think that Rondine's country is that far away from Kamura. I believe it's across the waters. Probably, my guess has always been that either it was Kamura or, you know, probably the kingdom from Rondine was in the country that they called Aya, which was like the one place on the map that they said was, you know, shut off, had a very different hierarchy of kings and queens, and the guild really wasn't there, and it sounds perfectly on spot for Rondine's home country. I thought maybe Kamura, but now that I think about it, it's probably not that at all. So it's quite possible that we're going there, but they do mention in the game, I believe, that when you take down Narwa and Ibushi, that the cat mentions that the queen is also aware of your hunter's great deeds and to be on good behavior when you're granted an audience. So obviously it sounds like it's not too far away if word has already reached the queen. I also love the fact that Rondine is a longsword user. I'm sure that makes Rurikon very happy, because the cat of hers does hint that she's very skilled. And I believe there was a tweet also from the official Twitter that said that she's got an older sister, I believe, who was also a knight. So it seems like we're going to get a nice detailed story with Rondine. It's going to be very interesting to see her kingdom. I love like that it has that purple dark glow. It kind of reminds me of the glow that we get from the final map in the game that they haven't really used too much. But it's definitely going to be a different culture, and I think it's safe to say that the theme here is going to be like Western yokai, like Western monsters, like vampires and stuff. So very, very exciting times indeed. The major thing that I'm curious about now is knowing that the story is definitely taking place, outside of Kamura, because they said that you would be able to unlock the quest for Sunbreak once you buy it after you complete the very first quest against Narawa, which I thought was interesting because that's not the conclusion of the story of Kamura. Like, you still have the All-Mother and all that, but they're not going to require you to go all the way there. It sounds like they really are just going to separate the two separately. Which makes me think that Rampage is not going to transfer over as a system mechanic into Sunbreak, which, maybe they'll do like harder, like G rank or master rank rampages in the village, and they'll have, quests on both ends. Maybe you can go in between both villages. But it's going to be interesting to see if they sort of abandon or step back from the Rampage idea. I thought it was fun and cool, but I could see where it might be okay to just leave it and maybe do some tough versions in the next game, but don't make it such a main mechanic because we're not even going to be in that town. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. I do expect that we're going to get a news drop and a trailer before the end of the year. Capcom is usually really good about that stuff. My guess is that it's going to drop at the Game Awards. I mean, where else would they drop it? It just seems like the ideal time to do it. Maybe it'll be one of those weird things where they give us like a really shorter version, and then if we go online, we'll see like a longer version. It'll be interesting to see, but the fact that they're talking about the country now makes me think that the next trailer is going to show some cutscenes with Rondine and maybe the Queen, and sort of hint at the general overtone of the game. I am excited as all get out for Sunbreak. Hope you guys are as well. Wanted to share this just confirmation of what this tweet was because it was very Japanese oriented, and also just get that juices flowing in the brain, like thinking about stuff. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video, and until next time, happy hunting.